in this video is mainly just testing the pulling capacity of the engine, as I had just recently rebuilt the transmission and repaired a few things that are broken. And started out with 7 cars, which is already pretty impressive, as before I repaired it, it was struggling to pull 5. And I really had to get the throttle up for it to do that. And it does go up from here. I managed to actually pull almost all the cars I have, and probably could pull all the cars I have if I put on all of them. But for concerns of derailment, I did not. I am unfortunately far from done from repairing it, as there is still a lot of cosmetic damage, as about like 3 or 4 years ago it fell off of my setup at that time due to actually, funny enough, due to it disconnecting from the tender and therefore the rest of the cars, and then just shooting forward at absurd speeds and falling off one of the turns. That problem should also be fixed now, as the connector for the tender was a little messed up. The screw that was meant to keep it from turning independently was basically not there. So I fixed that, and it should stay on a little better now because there's less play in that connector. But I've had this train since, I think it was, about 2013 is when my parents got it for me for Christmas, when I was, I believe, 6. I've always almost consistently set it up every Christmas season, and until up about like 3 years ago, where we took a break. But now this year we finally got it back out, got it running, and I made sure everything was running well, all of that, and all the work I did on it was well worth it, because it was doing real well pulling all of these cars. I actually do plan on expanding this in the next few months, with not only using up as much space as possible for this outer loop, for this loop the train's on right now, and expanding that out a little bit, but I also plan on making an inner loop for a second train on the inside, for probably just an older train. One thing that's been unfortunate that I just remember to talk about is that the sound has had a hard time working in recent years, as it'll play the stop sound and it'll play all the other sounds that are based on the remote, or that are buttons on the remote, but it will not play the idle chuffing sounds, nor will it play the other chuffing sounds. It only will play the stop sound, the stop sound. And here I am backing it up into my little parking area. I always like to do this because it always adds a little bit of fun, extra fun to it, and changing out which cars it's pulling. Just, I always have to make sure the cars are fitting, especially here. And I don't have any bumpers that works with this old tube track. So I always have to be careful with backing it up. And as I found out while I was recording this, this particular section will not fit 5 cars because there still needs to be enough room for the engine to access the other lane to get to the passenger cars. A lot of my collection of cars has really been built up over time, where I'd get like a few train cars about every Christmas. Maybe a few if we found them at the store or anything like that. And the first cars I got, other than the cars that came with the set, were actually the flatbeds, the free flatbeds that I put on the end of the train there. And then I've been to the box cars, and then kind of grew a little bit from there, and yeah. And a lot of the other props I've gotten over time as well, as like a Christmas gift or anything like that.